Hey everyone, okay, so we're going to try this again. I'm going live. This is day 3 of the tongue circles. Now, my last video was about 15 minutes long and it kept trying to do reels and stories and it only does like a minute, I guess. I'm not real familiar with that stuff. So, this is the deal. The body is a processing plant and a filter. So if you're not filtering what you're drinking and not cleaning what you're eating, and there are chemicals in it that those filters and that cleaning could remove, then you're ingesting it into the body and forcing the body to take care of it. Now, just because a filter or cleaning can take things out does not mean that your body can. And over time, hi Jessica. So over time, these will start to collect in the body and they will cause lymphatic issues because the body has to clean itself. And this thing about, now I posted yesterday about the lymphatic system and the spinal fluid, okay? Those are pumps that are taken care of by the diaphragm when we breathe through the nose. The nose is really in control of the diaphragm. When we're shallow breathing, we're breathing through the mouth and we're not really involving the diaphragm, so we're not getting a full pump cleaning all these things out. It's just not happening. So when we breathe through the nose, we create nitric oxide, which helps the veins and arteries and the heart relax. So when we're doing these tongue circles, we're breathing through our nose, in and out through our nose, making that diaphragm go up and down. And as above, so below. So as we breathe in, the diaphragm drops and it's massaging the organs and glands. And as we exhale, it goes back up and it's massaging the heart, the lungs, everything, as above, so below, okay? This is why it's so important to breathe. I'm not sure what bring them on video means, but anyway. So we have lymphatic gates that drain the head, the neck, the chest. And the number one gate is just above the collarbone, right next to the neck. There's a little hole there. And if you reach your fingers down in there and push on that and just roll around, and be careful because it can be very sensitive if it's congested. Okay? And we just move that around. And there's two sides because one side can be clogged and not the other one. And what's important also is just below the collarbone, so the gate is above the collarbone, right below it, right next to where it hooks onto the rib cage, there's a muscle right there. And if that's tense, that will start to close that gate. This is like the main culvert for the whole lymphatic system. And when this gets congested, it starts to back up. And as it backs up, it moves up into the head and it affects your sinuses and your gums and your eyes. And that's where forgetfulness, dementia, Alzheimer's, plaque on the top of the skull. These are things that when we want to communicate, when we want to remember, we're sending information out into the field, the atmosphere. And you're a thread that is allowing you to be here. You're a magnetic thread. That information is out there. And you're remembering, well, when you build plaque on the inside of your skull, it cuts down your ability to go out and retrieve information and come back. And we call it forgetfulness, brain fog, all this stuff. Okay? So it's important to keep these gates open and work those muscles that we're actually activating with our tongue because the tongue is so powerful. And we've just completely underestimated it. So as we clear these gates, okay, this is gate 1. Gate 2, you go up behind the ear lobe and the end of the jaw, there's a dent right there. This is gate number 2. And we just rub that. And we have a lot of lymph nodes. The muscle that runs, our neck muscle that runs down here, we massage that. And that actually opens up those lymphatic lymph nodes. And it drains right into the culvet. And we obviously have to do both sides. Okay? And the third gate is where the shoulder and the breastplate come together. There's a little crease right there. Well, we just rub that. Because what happens, if these aren't open, everything starts to back up. And if it's backing up, like our lymph nodes under our arms, it's important to keep those clean because they're like a toilet in your house. Each lymph node is like a little toilet. If it gets plugged, it starts backing up in the house. And when it backs up in the house, what happens is breast cancer, lung cancer, bone cancer, all in this area. So when we keep those open, then the lymph can drain and keep the body healthy, keep the body clean. You know, they just, the lymphatic system is because somebody found it, I think, in 2016. And, oh my God, it was revolutionary, right? You can't have a cell without lymph. There's still cells in the body that found the lymphatic system in. But that's why they call it the lymphatic system, because somebody discovered it. Somebody found it. But it's lymph. It's the lymphatic. There's only one system, the lymphatic system. All right? And it's almost all water. But it is on the acidic side, that water that is running through there. And when it gets congested, it starts to gel. And then that causes pain, suffering. Okay? Oxygen, there's lack of oxygen. There's every cell in your body is a mini you. It absorbs, it digests, and it eliminates. And it can only eliminate so long as the lymphatic system, the bathroom of the body, the lymphatic system, it comes along and cleans it. Because if it's sitting in its own acid, it starts to build a mucus layer around the cell. And over time, that's called malabsorption. Because the cell cannot hydrate, it cannot get nutrients or oxygen. It can't get in through that mucus that's around the outside because it starts to harden. And that cell is literally dying from lack of oxygen, nutrition, and hydration. That's all we are, is a bunch of tubes and sphincters and gates and valves, and we have to keep that clean. And the whole lymphatic system is manual. So the pumps are manual. And that's your diaphragm here when you breathe through your nose. Always do a belly breath. When we're shallow breathing, we're breathing into our chest. And it's a rapid breath, and it's usually shallow. This causes fight or flight. And in fight or flight, you don't need to eat. You don't need to grow. You don't need to stay calm. You need to get out of dodge because there's trouble, or you need to fight. That's the process. Well, because of the media and all the crap that's going on in the world, and it's being shoved into our view, for those that are watching it, it's causing fight or flight. It's causing shortness of breath, which means you're not getting as much oxygen, nutrition, and hydration as your body needs. When you breathe in and you hold your breath, eventually your body is going to start screaming that it needs air, and you will breathe again. You don't have a choice. That's what your cells are doing. When they are congested, when they are in trouble, when they are feeling restricted, limited, because they're literally starving to death. So as we're doing, so anyway, something just popped up on the screen. I didn't know what it was. So these circles that we're going to do, 25 this way, 25 that way, with our tongue. We put our tongue on the outside of our teeth, but inside the lips. And we run around this way 25 times and that way 25 times. And it strengthens the tongue. So there's a good chance you're going to stop snoring. You're going to sleep better. You're going to digest your food better. This is pre-digestion in your mouth. And as we go through this whole process, you're going to feel the back of your head, your neck, maybe your chest, your shoulders. They're going to get, they might get fatigued. Well, if you can do 5, if you can't do 25, do 5. 5 this way and 5 in the opposite direction. Then in a couple hours, do 5. And as that strengthens and you start to lose the tension in your jaw and your neck and your chest and your shoulders, you'll start to feel better. You'll start to calm down. You get into rest, digest, and heal. Because the vagus nerve, or the parasympathetic nerve, runs down through here as well as a sympathetic nerve. Sympathetic, fight or flight, shortness of breath. Parasympathetic is rest, digest, and heal. Okay? They're both controlled by breath. Long, slow, deep belly breaths. All right, so let's do the 25. So we're going to put pretend there's peanut butter on the outside of your teeth on top, and it goes under the lip, and we do 25 in whatever direction you want to do it in. If you can't do 25, do what you can, but 25 is the goal. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's 25. And okay, I've got to remember what direction I'm going in. So I'll be going this way this time. Speed, the slower you go, the better. You don't need a lot of tension. Pushing with your tongue. You can if you want to. This would be like, this will complete 150 for me because I've tried to film this 3 times already. So here we go. Okay, 25. I'm going to show you this one thing here before we go. Rub the back of your head. There's a lot of veins that run up through the back of your head, and it feeds the top of your head, your brain. And right at the base of the skull right here, put your thumbs in there and dig around, and people that have a lot of tension headaches, that will actually help get rid of those. So rub the back of the head, okay? Open up these valves, which I've already done. And gate 3, this is lymphatic gate number 3. Get those open, okay? And this will also help, and that is lion's breath. Now, we can't do a full lion's breath the way we do them in class while we're sitting down, but we can tap our chest and go down our legs, even though we're sitting. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, tip our head back, smile, okay? And we're going to hold our breath, and then we're going to lean forward. We're going to stick our tongue all the way out. This opens up the throat. Because the toxins, when we breathe in, are heavier than the air, and they sink to the bottom of the lungs, and that's where most of your blood oxygen transfer takes place. So we want to clear that out. So when we take a nice deep belly breath, the air goes deeper down into the lungs, and we get better oxygen into the blood to go feed the cells. So hopefully that made sense. All right, so here we go. We're going to breathe in through the nose, tip our head back, and smile. It's releasing endorphins, a smile. We're going to hold. Okay, lion's breath, exhale, tongue all the way out. And we're going to do 2 more. Inhale through the nose, head back, smile. Lion's breath, exhale. All right, 1 more. Here we go. Inhale through the nose, head back, smile. Lion's breath, exhale. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope you guys found this helpful. And love you guys. And I'll see you in the next video, which will be day number 4. All right. See ya.